Yo, what's going on, you goofy gallades? Today we're playing some games with AzulGG. So we're going to be playing Tord's list that I used to get top 4 with at the World Championships. I know Pedro played it as well, and his list was a couple cards different, but I kind of liked the look of Tord's list a little bit more. Just kind of the 4th Jirachi. I think the only difference was maybe 4th Acrobike versus 4th Jirachi. Opening Jirachi is super nice, so I really like the idea behind the 4th Jirachi over that. But yeah, anyways, let's take a look at the list. It is a ReshiZard deck. We do have the 9 tails in here to continue to use the 9 Temptations ability, so we can bring up, like, specifically against Malamar. We just constantly bring up those Malamars and knock them out, then eventually knock out their attacker, and then they can't set up another attacker. So 9 tails, huge for that matchup. Also our Gust effect in other matchups, but less important definitely in other matchups. Still want to set one up, but I think the Malamar matchup is where the 9 tails really shines. The other matchups, sometimes you don't even need it, but yeah, we definitely want the option of it in those matchups as well. A lot of cool things that you can that can be done with this deck, with the Victini and the Turtonator. Do stuff like knock out a tag team with Double Blaze on our 2nd turn, into using the Explosive Jet on the following turn to just knock out 2 tag teams back to back to close out games really fast. We got the Heatran in here with the Hot Burn GX, or sometimes Steaming Stomp. Specifically against like the Malamar deck, the Steaming Stomp is nice. Sometimes Hot Burn can be useful with 2-shot like a tag team initially, and then we want to use the Hot Burn GX to close out the game on something like that. The Victini also, once we start to run, if we run out of energy, or we just want to take a big knockout at the end of the game, we do play 18 fire energy in this deck, so we can use Infinity for a whole bunch of damage. So yeah, we can hit super hard with the Infinity to even one-shot tag team Pokemon at some point if we want to. So that's another thing we can do. We can go with like Double Blaze to knock out a tag team, into the Infinity to knock out a tag team, something like that. Very possible for this deck to pull off. One thing you guys might notice, there's no fire crystals in this deck to recover energy. There is 18 basic fire energy, so that does definitely make up for not playing fire crystals. There's also scoop ups, which we can use to pick up Pokemon with fire energy on them and then reuse those fire energy if we want to. So that's also an option. The scoop up can kind of act like a fire crystal depending on the situation. But yeah, no fire crystals was the big thing to come out of this list that was ran by the Limitless guys plus Tord at the World Championships. The no fire crystal, big deal for sure. But it does, playing no fire crystal, making room for more basic fire energy, allows you to use the Victini Prism so smoothly. So yeah, he's in there for that. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about the list. We only play Welder for supporters. We got the Palpad in there. Our way to reach Welder is either Dedenne or Acrobike. So let's go ahead and get into some games. I'm super hyped. I haven't played any games with this list yet, so be gentle with the comments. I probably will make a couple mistakes. I'm gonna do my best, yeah, but I haven't played any games with this list yet. But I've been super excited to try and get into some games with it, and I mean, better sooner than never. Is that it? Whatever. Let's get into some games. Did this first game here, we did get that oh so important Jirachi start. We're also going first, which is also great. And the hand is okay. Definitely looking like we might go with the Dedenne here. We're playing up against the Rampardos deck. Rampardos Omastar. No idea how this one's gonna play out. Omastar is a very interesting card. Yeah, not quite sure how this one is gonna go. Don't know what I even need to look for to do. We did just top deck the Welder, so I think we're just gonna go in with setting up a ReshiZard initially, and then kind of decide what to do from there. So we're gonna use this Cherish Ball to get a ReshiZard. 1 ReshiZard prize, that's fine. That we have the Victini and the Turtonator. Did 2 9 tails in here as well. Alright, and then we need a Heat Factory or Giant Heart something away. I think it's actually going to be the Acrobike here, and I think that's fine. Yeah, let's get rid of the Acrobike here. The Acrobike doesn't ever guarantee us anything, so it's not always just best. It's not just because we have an Acrobike doesn't mean we should keep an Acrobike. And then yeah, we're going to Welder to the ReshiZard, hoping for I think if I could pick anything to get here, it would definitely be one of the small guys. What's his name? Vulpix. Yeah, Vulpix is what I would want. Do we just want to go ahead and Dedenne away this hand to try and find a Vulpix? That now becomes a question. This definitely goes to the active if we do. Kind of debating on whether or not we want to. I think I really want a Vulpix here to kind of pick my targets. So I think we are going to go ahead, just bench this, and then just change away the hand. The scoop ups, I don't know how important they would possibly be, could potentially be for this matchup. I'm kind of like definitely in the dark here on how this is supposed to go. So We got the Calm, can get rid of the Turtonator, get that Vulpix. We have the Ninetales in hand, so we have the Gust potential on the next turn already. I guess I could have Stellar Wished first. I don't want to use the Acrobike. There's nothing else we really need to grab. I'm just going to grab that Cherish Ball for now. We did bench the Heatran to give ourselves that option on going into the next turn. We have that as an option as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and pass over to our opponent, see what they can come up with on their turn. But our start has been pretty good so far. Pretty good. Yeah, definitely good. Definitely solid start so far. Got a lot of options for the next turn. Got the turn 2 Ninetales, which is super nice to have the option of. We got a ReshiZard ready to go. We can also just go in with the Heatran if we want to, because when the Heatran does make his way into the active, we can just use his ability, which says we can move as many fire energy as we want from around our field to the Heatran if we want. And we would definitely probably want to take advantage of that for the current situation. Yeah, our opponent is playing that Fossil deck. They're playing the Rampardos, which can one-shot basic Pokemon, but they do need to have a fighting and 2 colorless, so that means they will need to like welder to it, which is like a lot to have. There goes our Giant Hearth. We're definitely going to want to take out that unidentified fossil ASAP, so they can't just knock out our big guys here. So yeah, that's going to be our target, is KO that unidentified fossil for sure. That's going to be, so we're probably going to look to KO it with Heatran using Ninetales. They did just go ahead and grab themselves 2 Cranidos. This is the thing with the energy, so I don't know. Maybe I should go for the... I'm going to go ahead and start with Cherish Ball. Not going to grab him. Follow up with a Acrobike. Take the Palpad. We're going to Palpad that Welder back into the deck. Palpad. Get that Welder back in there. Want that for later. Evolve to the Ninetales, and I think we would go with the ability here. I think we just want to knock this thing out, and then what we knock it out with we can kind of decide in a bit here. And we are just going to go ahead with another Data Change, get some more cards. We could even knock it out with the Ninetales if we get a Welder. We did get a Welder. We could knock it out with the Ninetales. I don't actually know what their deck can do to non-basic Pokemon, so we're actually going to Stellar Wish first here to try and thin out the deck of things that are not fire energy, so the Welder has a higher chance to hit a fire energy here, and we can actually attack with the Ninetales. I don't think the Rampardos could just one-shot a Ninetales. It maybe can, and this would maybe be a mistake. There's a lot of Welders, so it is going to have to be attack with Heatran here, which I'm just going to have to be okay with. Take those 3 to the active, and then we got that Steam and Stomp for the knockout, and we'll see what our opponent has. They need Rampardos, they need Attach, they need Welder, they need quite a bit to pull off a knockout here, so I'm not too worried about getting knocked out here. Triple Welder in hand is a little much. Definitely need to find ourselves a Hearth so we can start moving these Welders out of the hand. So that's going to be our goal on the next turn, is to find a Hearth. We're down, what, 9 energy, so there's 9 energy left in the deck as well. So top deck fire energy is fairly likely as well. There was a Cynthia from our opponent, so that's not a Welder, which means we're not going to get attacked next turn. And this is one of the reasons these kind of decks just aren't actually that great right now. They're pretty clunky overall. Yeah, definitely very clunky. That's kind of one of the things that holds Fossil decks back. Despite the Pokemon Research Lab, the energy cost specifically on the Rampardos. Oh, it's triple fighting? Wait. This is not the Rampardos that I thought it was? Hang on, we're going to have to go ahead and read this guy once he puts him down to evolve. Unless it is triple fighting, and in which case I have no idea how he's going to be attacking with the thing. I thought it was fighting colorless, so he could Welder to it at the very least. Yeah, we'll see here in just a second. Here's that Stellar Wish coming out from our opponent. Do they need to like attach 3 fighting energy to him or something? Like, I don't even know what the... Alright, there's the evolve, so we can read him now. He's a basic Pokemon. It is knocked out. Evolution Pokemon. So it takes 3 fighting. So I don't quite know how they're ever going to get 3 fighting onto the Rampardos. There's the Ammonite. So we're about to get our trainer cards shut off. So we definitely want to use these, or our item cards shut off. So we definitely want to utilize these as much as utilize them as soon as possible. Get them out of the hand and such. Utilize this Hearth. Some fires out of the deck. So there's 1 fire prize. Victini's in the deck. Heat Factory, another Hearth, and Acrobike. Okay. We're probably just gonna we could actually hit them with the 9 Temptations to bring this guy up again and hit him again. Could also take out the Omnite so we don't lose access to our item cards, but our item cards really aren't that important anymore. So that doesn't even seem that necessary anymore. So I really have to decide where to welder to. I think just knocking out the active is going to be fine. I think I'm just going to welder to the ReshiZard. Yeah. Yeah, only one fire prize, so the chance of us drawing into fires, not super high. Acrobike. I think we actually just want the Hearth here to be able to get more fires out of our deck as we go. Yeah, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw this on the Ninetales. And then retreat and just take the knockout with... Yeah, we don't really need to draw more cards. So the Heat Factory doesn't really do a whole ton for us. We just need to keep energy in play and make sure we can keep attacking. So Giant Hearth gives us the energy. The only thing we need really is energy. I mean, we have the calm, so we could have actually... I probably should have searched out what's it called last turn. I should have calmed for the Victini to have the Victini as an option coming up here soon. Yeah, I should have definitely got the Victini out of the deck and at least into the hand, because we're not going to be able to find him anymore after this turn, most likely after this turn, because our opponent should have Omastar set up, which means we won't be able to use item cards anymore because our bench is full. I guess our opponent could fill their bench and then we'd get access to them, but it's kind of unlikely. There's no reason for them to kind of set that up and then do that. So if I was my opponent, I wouldn't fill my bench up anymore after they set up the Omastar. So we'll see. There's the builds analysis. So yeah, like I was saying, I thought this was fighting double colorless, so they could go attach welder. It is triple fighting, so it's a lot slower. We can definitely go take him out next turn if we want to, actually, even. There's another custom catcher for our opponent. I guess they could knock out our Ninetales this turn with the clean hit. That's definitely a possibility for our opponent on this turn, and I assume that's what they're going to be going for. We'll see, though. They did get access to another custom catcher. There goes the Tortuga back into the deck as well. We'll see. Yep, there's the Omastar shutting off our item cards. No more item cards for us unless they bench 2 more Pokemon. I believe that's how it works. If you have fewer, yeah. They would need to bench 2 Pokemon to give us our item cards back. There's a custom catcher for 1, so they're actually drawing cards with it. Definitely not the ideal way to use custom catcher ever, but it is nice to have the second effect so connect. Sometimes get you out of those tight spots where you just don't have any draw power going on. And they're going to go attached to Rampardos, and I would assume pass. They have no way to get up, unless I'm mistaken, they have no way to get up to a Wild Crash next turn. So I think we can just knock out the active again this turn. Just knock out this unidentified fossil, and then just kind of go from there. We don't really need to do anything. We could Giant Hearth, thin out some cards. That would be fine. We could KO the Omastar if we wanted to. I believe he has 130 HP. We could KO Omastar if we wanted to. But there's a concession from our opponent. Yeah, there's a reason people don't play these fossil decks very much. They're super clunky, super inconsistent. You got all the tools to beat all the decks, but if you can't actually set them up, might seem like a good matchup on paper, but then once you actually play it, you realize your deck is just usually too slow. If it does set up, you might win, but takes too long to get there. Decent start here in this. We got the ReshiZard start. We got 2 Cherish Balls, a Hearth, a Welder. Got everything we could possibly need for our early game here. We are up against a Magikarp Whale Lord, though. That's not good. We'll see what our opponent is playing here in a second. There's a Treasure. If I had to guess, I would assume we're looking at that Nag Quag. There's a Poipole. A little bit of a hint for the Nag, but where is the Quag? Does it exist? Maybe this is something else, but if I had to guess, I would say this is probably Nag Quag, and they unfortunately opened up Magikarp. There's the Wooper. Nag Quag, Whale Lord. Whale Lord, of course, probably for the Malamar matchup. Yeah, couldn't really be for anything else. So yeah, Nag Quag with the Whale Lord for the Malamar matchup. Yeah. All right, we'll see how this goes. I have to imagine this is a pretty unfavorable matchup, but we can constantly chase stuff down with Ninetales, and them opening the Whale Lord is definitely not ideal for them. That's definitely some nice potential prizes to pull for us early on here. So we're going to go with a Viridian Forest here. I'm going to get rid of a fire. I'm going to get a fire. Then I'm going to Giant Hearth away a fire to get 2 fires. I'm going to go ahead and check my deck here on this one as well. Giant Hearth fire. We're going to get 2 fires. Do we want to use the Cherish Balls for anything? We can use 1. The Heatran is prized, unfortunately. I don't really want to put another ReshiZard in play. I kind of want to use like 1 ReshiZard and then Victini and Turtonator. Yeah, I don't really want to put another ReshiZard in play. We're going to grab these. I don't really want to Cherish Ball into a Dedenne either, if I would then draw another Dedenne and then have to discard one. So we're not going to do that as well, I don't think. Yeah, see, there's that Dedenne I was talking about. Attach here. We're going to bench a Jirachi. And then I think we're just going to go ahead and Dede change, discard the whole hand. I could have got rid of the other Zard potentially with the Cherish Ball, but I think it's better to have the option of it in the deck than not. So yeah, we're gonna go like that. Yeah, we could go with Acrobike first here. Okay, definitely want the Vulpix. Discard a fire, another fire. That's no problem though. And then we're just gonna go ahead and pass over to our opponent and see what they can pull off on their turn. Ton of fire. Oh, actually not that much. I thought we had cut a little bit more than 3 fire in the discard pile. Decent amount of fire in the discard pile. Not actually that much. So we should be chill for a little bit here. We could go with the GX attack if we top deck a Welder next turn. If not, we can just go with Ninetales and knock out the Wooper, which is definitely just like a fine play on our turn. We don't have a whole ton past that. But we would be, if we get a Pokemon, we can go into a Dene on the following turn and then look for the KO on something else. But there's going to be the concession from our opponent. No Quagsire, probably nothing, no other Pokemon. That's definitely what they were missing. And we get another dub here just because our opponents are playing clunky decks, man. If your deck's clunky, your deck can't set up to begin with. It's not going to work. Not going to work well. Although I do think Nagquag is a little bit better than that game showed from our opponent. Anyways, let's get into another one. See if we can run into someone playing something a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more meta. Getting into another one here. We are going first. We do have the Welder, but then past that, we don't have a whole lot going on. Gonna see if that changes here in the next couple draws. We are up against a Pikarom deck, which I think is probably generally a pretty good matchup. We're just kind of potentially too fast for them to keep up ever, or that's gonna be the idea. But we'll see. This is definitely not too fast for our opponent to keep up with. They can definitely keep up with this hand just fine. See what we get here off the Welder. Ooh, we got some good options here, though. Let's take a look. I don't want to just give up these energies that are on the Dedenne. Victini, we definitely want to, like, use the Dedenne here, I think. So I think we want to go, like... We could come back in the Victini. Get ourselves the Vulpix to give ourselves maximum amount of options for the following turn. Then we can go attach active, bench Jirachi, and then use Dede Change. Lose both the scoop ups, but oh well, they gotta go. 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's some pretty good options for the following turn. Gonna go ahead and retreat to the Jirachi. Use we could bench the Charizard, I guess. We could just hold on to him as well. Hold on to all of them, actually, I think. Yeah, let's just hold on to them. Stellar Wish. There's the Welder. That's what I really wanted here, was the Welder. And we get it. Perfect. And we're just going to go ahead and pass over to our opponent and see what they're able to come up with on their turn. But we have the option. We have quite a few options here now that we got the Welder. If they get, like, a full Blitz off, we can hit them with Heatran and knock out the Raichu, actually. Welder plus... because we can do the Welder plus attachment, and we can use GX attack of Heatran, knock out something like a Pikarom if they do that, and if they knock out the Heatran on the following turn, we can look for the Victini response and get enough, hopefully get enough fire energy in the discard pile, and then just one-shot the next big threat. But first, they have to get off something like a Full Blitz, which they might just not be able to pull off. We'll have to wait and see if they can even get that off. They got a good start so far. 2 Lightning in the discard pile with the Radar, Lightning on the active to move the Dedenne. So they're missing an E-Switch or 2 E-Switch. They did put the Lysander Labs in play, which means they can't put Thunder Mountain in play. Not sure how much I like that, taking away that option. But if they don't play Stadium Navs, then it's really not that big of a deal, I guess. So they're going to be looking for 2 E-Switch. Yeah, 2 E-Switch and a Zerora. That's not it. So we are going to be trying to get rid of this Dedenne here. I don't know if we really can KO it, though, unless we want to GX attack it. But I guess we could actually look to... knock out. We could bring up something off the bench and knock it out with the Ninetales. So we could go like, makes it super awkward for us, actually. Huh. We just don't really have any good options now. I think I'm actually going to start with Stellar Wish here. That definitely changes things a little bit. Can for sure use the escape board to move our active. It doesn't help that much, though. I think we just go ahead and use this, get rid of a Cherish Ball, get 2 more fires out of the deck. And then we're just going to throw some on the ReshiZard, and then that'll be our turn. We'll just go ahead and leave Jirachi in the active. Just get ReshiZard set up, ready to go. Yeah. We'll go ahead and use another Stellar Wish, though, while we can. For sure. Is we'll get another Stellar Wish off. They're going to KO our active anyways. Definitely going to take the communication. Potentially get access to Ninetales to go ahead and pull something up on the next turn if we want. And then, yeah, pass over to our opponent see what they can come up with on their turn. Yeah, not a ridiculously good turn from us, but we weren't able to welder to a prime target there. We had to welder to the Dedenne. Definitely not optimal, but didn't really have a choice. There they go with the Volkner. That should probably set them up for a full blitz here. Got the comm. Only one thing coming out of that. Gonna be the Coco. Almost for sure gonna be the Coco here for our opponent. Coco Prism Star. And then I'm assuming they have an energy in hand and then probably an energy switch as well, or a tag switch that would also allow the turn 1 full blitz. So our opponent's got it. They got the full blitz here on this turn. We're going to look to knock them out probably with the Heatran. I mean, I guess if I got another welder, I could communication and knock them out with Turtonator, which would be a little bit more ideal, I think, to do the knockout with Turtonator. And then we could look for the Victini Prism Star, or just like kind of biding our time while we set up for something else on the next turn. Yeah, it'll really come down to... Whoa, there's an E-Power from our opponent, so I wonder, yeah, okay, there's the data change. So they don't have the energy in hand. Wait, they did have the energy in hand. Oh, they don't have the E-Switch. They didn't have the E-Switch. They already attached there, yeah. So they need an E-Switch or a tag switch, and then probably ideally for them is Aurora as well. There's the retreat, so they definitely got, or their stadium works as well. They could have Thunder Mountain. Thunder Mountain works here as well. Look, there's the tag switch, moving the energy up off the Raichu to the Pikarom, and then we will see a full blitz for the knockout on the Jirachi. That is why I was kind of fine with using the Jirachi there, or going to the second Jirachi there. So one Jirachi is getting knocked out, doesn't really matter which one. May as well get an extra Stellar Witch off, because we want to keep one Jirachi in play. Yep, and Raichu fully set up. Alright, so I think we would ideally like to knock out the Raichu, but it really does depend on what we draw. A Welder is very good. Yeah, that's great, actually. We can go ahead and GX attack with ReshiZard. Ideally, the Raichu. And take that knockout. So we can go with... I just want to Welder first. I think I just want to Welder first, because I would ideally still need to draw into a Fire Energy, actually. But I think I'm going to save the Stellar Wish. Yeah, so there's a Fire Energy. Can Hearth away. Jirachi. Get 2 more Fires. Then we can Calm away. I guess we could start with the Acrobatic, actually, because this gets us a Ninetales. Nope, another Fire Energy. Now we can Calm away the Heatran. Calm, get rid of Heatran, grab the Ninetales. I guess we could have Stellar Wished first, but it's really not that big of a deal. So Ninetales comes down. Gonna bring up the Raichu, because we don't want to get paralyzed on our next turn if we can avoid it. Don't forget to Stellar Wish. Stellar Wish, gonna grab ourselves Cherish Ball, I guess. I don't even know if there's like a really that great of a thing to grab there. Anyways, the only really good thing with there would be Welder. Welder's like the thing we're looking for. We're looking to use probably Victini Prism Star to take our last knockout here coming up. Oh yeah, Double Blaze GX, and then we could always just go with a Flare Strike on the Pikarom and then bring it up again and punch it with like literally anything to take the last prize. That's also a possibility. I guess it would depend if our opponent's playing Scoop Ups or not. They could like heal the Pikarom, which is sometimes played in Pikarom builds, the Super Scoop Ups. So I guess that would be the only real annoying thing. But if not, if they knock this out, we can look to just go in with Victini as a follow-up and just kind of one-shot this thing. That'd be pretty good. That can be definitely our game plan here. There's the reset stamp to 3, not that big of a deal. We have 1 Dedenne left, I believe, for draw power. We've gotten ourselves in a scoop up as well. And yeah, like I said, just go with the game plan where we just one-shot them with Victini, or just poke them after we hit them really hard with Flare Strike. That's also fine. We can go ahead and just kind of poke them with anything. An Outrage. We could just set up another ReshiZard and just Outrage them for 30 after a Flare Strike to knock out this Pikarom. Really have a ton of ways to knock it out. It really would just come down to if they play scoop ups or not, which... I said most decks don't, most lists don't, so I'm not going to really worry about that until it happens. But it could definitely happen. See, 11, 12, 13, 14, energy, 15, 16 left in deck. Alright, we're in a pretty good spot here. Attached to the Pikarom. So they're setting up for, oh, they can get actually a Tag Bolt off on the following turn. They can't win the game unless I put down another tag team, I guess. But they could knock out our But if they Tag Bolt while the Ninetales is down, if they Tag Bolt the Ninetales, their active is staying the Pikarom, so I guess that's fine if they were able to get off that Tag Bolt anyways. So that's not really that big of a deal. We're not really afraid of that, I guess. They went ahead and grabbed themselves the Dawn Wings, put it in play. Interesting that they put the Dawn Wings in play. I don't really think that offers a whole ton at this point anymore. Oh, they are at 5 prize cards. Actually, no, so if they Tag Bolt next turn, they can win the game, because they can knock... For some reason, I forgot that they... We're at 5 projects. So they can knock out a Dedenne and my active. So actually, I think we're in trouble here. Oh, they just went with Tag Ball right now. I don't think they realized they didn't get the knockout. So we're just going to respond with Outrage and then forget this one ever happened. They are 1 E-Power short. And we are going to take a pretty awkward here against the Pika Rom deck. It definitely could have got a lot closer if they had full blitz there and then look for tag ball on the following turn. But they definitely miscounted their E-powers, and we're going to take a dub here on this last one. It was pretty close up till that point, but then they kind of threw it all away. We had a little bit of an awkward start with the Welder to the Dedenne, which isn't, of course, is not ideal, but we recovered pretty well from there, and then we were able to put it in a spot where we were pretty close to winning. I don't know what I would have gone with there at the end if they had just full blitzed me. They're also maybe... They were 2 E-powers too deep anyways. If they had full blitz, I would have been able to respond with Outrage. So I'm not sure what their thought process at all was there, but definitely didn't work out. And that's going to do it on the video for the Limitless Ability ReshiZard build. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I really like this deck. I think it's like super fun. Having only just played some games with it now, I'm enjoying it. This deck's definitely fun. Definitely recommend trying it. I definitely want to try Pokegears over Acrobikes. I think that'd be something to try out, because all you really ever want to find is Welder. Usually your Acrobikes are like, well, I hope this Acrobike finds me a Welder. I'm not a super big fan of the scoop ups either. I think those could go out, and we could probably go 4 Acrobike, 4 Pokegear or something like that. Could try and find room for that over some of the other cards in the deck, but definitely a lot to work around with this list for sure. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a like. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Links for my social medias and Twitch live stream in the description below. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.